Industry Champions. I'm your host, Criss Budihas, and joining me virtually is Gene up in Metro New York. Gene, how are you?
Very good, Chris. How are you this morning?
I'm doing wonderful. Thanks for coming on Industry Champions. And we're going to talk about digital media. What does Gene Criss Media do, and how do you do what you do?
Okay. Thanks, Chris, for having me. Yes, I
Absolutely.
have Gene Criss Media. I actually have two businesses, Gene Criss Media, a creative media services agency, and I also have Crisscross Intimates, a post-surgical intimate apparel business. So I'll
Wow.
tell you about the media business first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please.
So sure. I became an entrepreneur back in 2011 after leaving the corporate marketplace, and I was in television at the time. And I had previously been in publishing, high tech, online, um, print, digital. I pretty much had covered a variety of different media platforms.
Yeah.
And I decided to finally go into my own business and really put all of my media expertise into a portfolio of services. And that's really what I did. I Within 30 days I kind of crafted this business and started going after small businesses and regional and national businesses
Yeah.
with my areas of expertise. So I had previously called on a lot of different market segments, from retail, general business, healthcare, hospitality, automotive, and decided to, continue to do that.
Yeah.
And, just offer, areas of media and marketing and, consulting services where I can add value.
How's that
Yeah, that's
been?
what the
Has
media
it been
is.
rewarding? I can imagine. I mean, you've been doing it since 2011.
Yeah. Yeah, it has been. And, I love technology. I love staying on top of emerging tech. And, since AI's been out, I've been, trying to keep up with, learning different tools and applying those not only for my own use, but also, for using them for different applications. But, one of the things I did with the media is as I created my own brand with Crisscross Intimates, I got breast cancer and I
Mm.
ended up pivoting with my agency. I had to kind of take a step back with some of my clientele, and I became the brand um, expert at my own business with
Yeah.
not only creating a fashion brand, but I represented myself, right, for the media and
Right.
marketing. So I did all of my own advertising and web development and just all that good stuff that you have to do to create your own brand. And I've continued to do that with everything that I do for my own businesses.
Yeah.
And so I really never stopped doing media and marketing, but I kind of took a pause with clients, and now I'm kind of getting back into that with different clientele.
That's
I
excellent.
constantly, yeah, I've stayed on top of certifications in digital media, social media, government certified, all
Hmm.
that fun stuff. And yeah, this is what I do, and I'm enjoying it.
Well,
Um,
so with
One other thing
Crisscross,
I wanted.
with Crisscross,
Mhm.
it's amazing. Out of chaos was born opportunity. First of all, I'm sorry to hear you went through that, but the fact that you
Yeah.
saw there was a need to develop this line of clothing, so where are you at with Crisscross, and where are you guys going in the next couple of years?
Yeah. So I've been around with the fashion brands since 2017. I did my e-commerce launch, and that is still around. I have a utility patented brand, and I have just a few of the designs that I introduced. I bootstrapped my businesses from the beginning, and
Yeah.
now I'm seeking funding for the utility patent. I have over 20 different designs that I innovated. I actually innovated the designs from my hospital bed while I was having multiple surgeries. And so I'd love to introduce more of the designs. And so that's some of the future, um, that's planned for the product.
Okay.
I had actually started to um, create some of the sample prototypes right
Yeah.
before COVID and produce some of them, and then things kind of came to a halt. And I do produce in New York City, and I had started to produce overseas, and then I all that came to a stop. And now I pretty much just drop ship. A lot of the boutiques and so forth are not placing volume orders, which is what I was, working really hard towards obtaining wholesale orders.
Yeah.
But so now I'm working on some new technology for the brand. I'm working on a wearable tech,
Okay.
so that it's a new type of design, a new category for my brand, so that utilizing like a medical device that would be integrated into a bra
Yep.
that could maybe help with breast cancer diagnosis and
Mhm.
accelerate the recovery.
Wow. That
I
that would be
went
amazing.
through,
Yeah.
yeah, I went through so much, and such a long journey with my recovery. I want to make it just a better world for survivors all around. So
Well,
I'm doing that on my own. And one thing I didn't mention with the digital media, I'm also a senior executive fellow with the Digital Economist. It's
okay.
like a think tank,
Yeah.
and so I'm working with them on the digital side of it, and that's one of my projects that I'm working with them on.
That's excellent. So, Gene, how can people
Yeah.
find Gene Criss Media, and then how they find Crisscross?
Yes. Gene Criss Media is genecrissmedia.com.
Okay.
And you can just email me at genecrissmedia.com.
Okay.
And Crisscross is crisscrossintimates.com.
Okay.
And my last name is Criss without an H. People
Yep.
tend to throw an H in there. And the same thing, either info or Gene at crisscrossintimates.com.
Yes, ma'am. Well, hey,
I'm
thanks
pretty
for
much all
coming.
over social media, and
Yeah.
yeah, they can get a hold of me pretty
Excellent.
much all the sites.
Well, Gene, what we're going to do is take all that contact information, put our show notes. We're going to highly encourage folks to reach out to you either through LinkedIn or other forms of social, and then take a look at Gene Criss Media and also look at Crisscross. So you got a great, compelling message. Obviously, you're an expert in your career field in all forms of media and marketing. So I think it's a great opportunity for folks that need your services to reach out, to have a conversation, and see if there's a opportunity to partner with you.
Great, I'd welcome that. Thanks so much for having me on the show today, Chris.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much, and good luck in the future. Hey, folks, take a look at our
Thanks.
show notes. Look up Jean, connect with her and I on LinkedIn. We'd love to connect with you. Take a look at what she's doing there with Gene Criss Media and also with Crisscross. That's pretty amazing considering the number of women that suffer, unfortunately, from breast cancer, and what she's doing to help them with their quality of life as they go through that process. We'll see you next segment and live with gratitude.